Welcome back to Tiering Teams in IPL 2025, where we look at every team in the IPL and how it's going for them. Let's start with one of the worst teams, Rajasthan Royals. You know, when IPL 2024 just finished and Rajasthan got eliminated in Eliminator 2, I was pretty sure that they would at least get to the semi-finals in IPL 2025, but no, I think they messed up from the start. First, they retained a really weak middle order. The middle overs batting to the death overs batting was probably the worst part of their season last year. Yes, of course, they had their moments. Jarrell had that 52 against LSG, I believe, and Hetmeyer and Shubham Dubey, they had their moments, I guess. Parag was the best, but he comes in the higher middle order usually. If these guys just released their entire middle order, retained Butler, Sandeep, Sanju, Jaiswal, and Parag, they could have done a lot better, for being honest. They could have gotten someone like Suryansh Shedge to help out in the middle overs, maybe get Maxwell or Stoinis as well. So where Rajasthan really sucks is their middle order batting. Their opening, however, is probably close to, if not the absolute best. Jaiswal is so freaking good right now. He wasn't great in the first 3 games, scoring only 34 runs and averaging slightly above 11, but in the next 5 he was amazing. The next 5 games, he scored 322 runs, striking above 150, and he's averaging above 40. That's just insane stuff. And honestly, I really like how he's adapted himself to essentially be the guy who's doing everything for the team. When Rajasthan were losing wickets, he essentially decided to anchor the innings and then score later on. But in the RCB game, he changed himself. It's not like this was an easier pitch either. Jaiswal was riding the bounce extremely well, and it looked like he was really confident and didn't trust the middle order batting enough and just wanted to finish it off himself. He did get overconfident when he got dismissed though, but nonetheless it was a fantastic innings. And Rajasthan have 2 other openers, Sanju, who's injured, and Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the 14-year-old who's doing pretty well for being a teenager. Smacking established bowlers is no easy task, if we're being honest, even if you're like 16 or 17. We've covered how crap the batting is. Now let's focus on how mid the bowling is. For how bad they've structured the team, bowling shouldn't be their main focus. The problem with Rajasthan is that they don't have the kind of all-rounder that would give you at least 2 proper overs of bowling, but can also give you a solid quota if needed, and score a crucial 30 maybe after bowling these overs. Well, obviously some people are going to say, well, all-rounders are basically useless because the impact player is here now. But that's only to, some kind of extent. RR doesn't have enough variety in their bowling either to have an insanely good bowling attack. I think Sandeep's great, even though he does leak some runs. Jofra's definitely hitting good legs extremely well. But the rest of the fast bowlers haven't really done great. Faruqi's 3 games, not taking a single wicket, going at 11.7. And we all know how expensive Tushar really is, but he's definitely gone down significantly in economy. He still isn't great though. The spinners are doing their job, but they're not really doing their job. Here's what I mean. They can keep the middle overs quiet enough. Sure, they can get to control the game for Rajasthan and control the batters themselves, but they don't take the wickets that Rajasthan needs. If you don't take wickets, it allows the batters to easily take on the pacers who are coming in the middle. It also lets the batters gain confidence to attack someone like Riyad Parag or Nitish Rana, who's coming in as a part-timer. They're not taking the wickets that they're supposed to, but they're still quite easy to target. And since Jofra is bowling his full quota by the 15th over, there's no one who can contain runs at the death. Also, their field placement, it's horrible. No fielder at third man with Jitesh Sharma and Tim David batting. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. If they had some better fielding, looking at you, Deekshana, it would work a lot easier for Tushar and Sandeep to grab the batters quicker, in the power play, even. So what does this team have to work on? Scoring runs in the middle quickly, taking wickets almost all the time. Their next fixtures are against GT and MI, both of which are going to be losses, and KKR, which might be a win if their spinners use their variations well. Mainly the fly to delivery, hopefully. So F tier is pretty fair. I think they're basically eliminated. They obviously have a chance, but they're basically eliminated. So there's really no point for all of this. Obviously they should retain Jaiswal, but I do have a feeling that Jaiswal might walk out on them like Bunt did with Delhi last year. they should release most of their team, but should keep Shubham Dubey, who's looking like a really good prospect right now. Riyad Parag has had some good knocks in the past in 2024. Maybe bank on that. I don't know. Sanju Samson, Sanju Samson. Dhruv Jurel, Nitish Rana, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Hasaranga, Tushar, Madwal, Archer, Tikshna, and Sandeep. Even though Madwal's not playing, I still think he's pretty solid, so I would keep him. Since their pace attack looks pretty solid, I don't think they need much fixing there. A good spin duo could be someone like Ashwin with them. Tanush Kotian can build the lower order too. Maybe someone like Jacob Bethel could fill up these cracks in the middle order as well. Bracewell is a terrific all-rounder as well. Even though he's not particularly a T20 all-rounder, I think he could play for them as well. I feel like RR can just get these really, really kind of small problems, just a couple of players who aren't doing really good. They can get them patched up and have a solid side next year. The problem is they can't finish their games. If they get someone like Shea Hope, Shikandar Raza, Ben Duckett maybe, someone who can stay and win games for them, it would be really nice. Anyway, here's a pretty good 11 for Rajasthan next year. Ben Duckett, Sanju Samson, Nitish Rana, Riyad Parag, Jacob Bethel, Michael Bracewell, Shubham Dubey, Tanush Kotian, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Jofra Archer, and the impact player will be either Sandeep Sharma or Tushar Deshpande. GT is probably having one of the best seasons for a team, like, ever. Their losses were really, really close, while their wins were just straight out dominant throughout the entire tournament. Their power play batting is either the best or second best in this tournament, but I'm willing to say second best. It's still pretty good, though. They start out slow, sure, but then they control the middle phase and then control the death later on. They only lose like 4 wickets per game, which in this day and age of IPL is a small amount. Safe to say that their middle overs batting is safe too. That being said, the late middle overs, like overs 13 to 15, they aren't great. I think the top order knows that the middle order does suck, so they just try to play as long as possible, even if they're scoring at a rate of like 8 to 10. But by this time, Butler and Gill have already put on like 150 runs. So even if their middle order makes like 20 to 25 runs, GT will still be in a great position because like they have a terrific bowling attack. They have a lot of really, really good pace options. Prasidh for bouncy tracks, Siraj when the ball is swinging, Arshad when something, I don't know. Shad Sharma for fun. I don't know why he's there. Siraj and Prasidh are doing really, really well for Gujarat, and Prasidh even won the purple cap. Actually, it's now taken by Josh Hazelwood, but when I was writing this, it was Prasidh Krishna. He's having a really, really good season, and he's having a good economy as well. Their spin trio is great. I mean, you have arguably the greatest T20 spinner of all time. You can't go wrong. But Sai Kishore is great too. He had one off day against LSG. I do expect Sai Kishore to defend 6 runs off the final over, if I'm being honest. I don't really... that was one off day. And Washington Sundar's good too. Washington Sundar, one of India's best all-rounders. Obviously, he's ruined by the impact player rule, but he's still good. I mean, I'm still talking about this team. S tier. CSK. They're almost eliminated. And, I mean, well, they're basically eliminated. Same thing with Rajasthan. They have a chance, obviously. I did some calculations. The only way they're qualifying is if DC wins 5 of their remaining games, GT loses to DC, and wins 5 of their remaining matches. RCB loses 4 of their next 4 games, actually, because they already played today. And GT wins 3 of their next 4 games. MI wins 2 of their next 4. And MI has to win most of their 2 by close margins, and have to lose them by big margins. PBKS has to win only 1 game, SRH has to win 2, KKR wins 2, and RR wins 1. CSK then has to win all of their games, all by fairly big margins, 2 80-plus victories, 2 40-plus victories at the least. If RCB didn't win today, actually, it's still possible. It's still possible. It's probably not happening, though. So let's talk about why they're terrible. It's basically all the batter's fault. They basically suck. Matre and Brevis are the only real ones. Dhoni is fine, but he's not great. The bowling is great. Middle overs is amazing. If Patirana could bowl properly and hit his line and length more accurately, this would probably be the best middle overs in the league. Power play isn't great, but we know that since the auction. Khalil is carrying it hard, and if Gumboach could just be in the 11, it would just have a significant impact on the team. They were great against Sunrisers, restricting them to 37 for 2 in the power play. No changes needed there for the power play, honestly. The death is where the bowling kind of falls off. Anshul and Khalil aren't ideal in the death. Neither is Patirana, especially in this form. You know, if Patirana could just go back to his regular action, it would probably be so good for CSK, but that's not happening. Noor is spectacular. No words for him. Good at the power play, the best in the middle, and great in the death, for being honest. Also, my playing 11, I've been saying this since the start. Just play with this playing 11. Matre, Rachin, Shaikh Rashid, Vansh Bedi, Shivam Dubey, Duwald Brevis, MS Dhoni, Ravindra Jadeja, Anshul Kamboj, Noor Ahmed, and Khalil Ahmed, and Nathan Ellis as the impact player because he has a pretty good economy, if we're being honest. Economy is where this team really sucks. Or Shreyas Gopal or Ravichandra Ashwin if he's spinning. Maybe Andre in place of Shaikh would be nice, but they could focus on next season, honestly. They should focus on next season. Release Tripathi, Huda, Shankar, Ashwin, Conway, and Rachin. Overton, Gopal Ghosh, Gurjappreet, Nagar Koti, Karan, and maybe Patirana. It would be sad to see Patirana go, but he isn't doing so great right now. Release Shaikh Rashid, keep Matre, Anshul, Khalil, Ellis, Dhoni, Noor, Jadeja, Rutraj, Dubey, Bedi, and Brevis. Unfortunately, that means that we do have to release Andre, but he didn't play much anyway. I mean, if we do keep him as well, I don't really see the harm because he didn't go for that much. Jaiswal might leave Rajasthan, so CSK should definitely look at him to fix their power play batting. Will Jacks will likely be released by Mumbai if he doesn't go well for the next 2 or 3 games. So CSK can pick him up in the auction for some middle order strength. Washington Sundar isn't a key player for Gujarat. I don't know if he's going. He might come into the auction, so I think that he can be bought too. KKR might release Rinku, but if they don't, either Ajay Mandal or Shahbaz Ahmed is definitely going to be released. Raj Labani is a good one as well. He's terrific with the new ball and had a great Under-19 World Cup. And since CSK has a humongous purse, they could probably also get Matt Short, Mitchell Owen, Andre Berger, and Cam Green. Oh, and Johnny Bairstow. So the final playing 11 for next year should look like Mitchell Owen, Ayush Matre, Rutraj Gaikwad as our captain, Brevis or Jax or Short, Shivam Dubey, Green or Bairstow, MS at number 7, Jadeja at 8, Anshul Kamboj at 9, Khalil at 10, and Noor Ahmed at 11. Ellis and Patirana will be our impact player. Sundar could be our impact player as well. Vansh Bedi or Raj Labani. C. Andre Siddharth if we keep him, and Andre Berger. This might be the best squad I can think of. Obviously, it needs some kind of work. CSK is probably going to suck until the next mega auction cycle, like Rajasthan, because, you know, that's essentially where you build your team's core. And who knows how different that time will be. Maybe the average score for T20s would be like 240. Anyway, they're F tier. They're basically eliminated, right? So they're F tier. Anyway, right, F tier. Only 50% of the team actually works, so, yeah. The Sunrisers high-key sucks, but they did well against CSK. I think it was just a competition of which team wants to lose more. Their power play batting is pretty bad when it isn't given a flat track and easy bowlers. Abhishek and Head get out too quickly, and again, they just have to play consistently with a strike rate of 150 and play sensibly. It's better than playing with a strike rate of 220 every once in a while. Kishan was alright against Chennai, but he looks like he gets really stuck while batting in the power play. And he had a brain drain moment against Mumbai. I don't think it was match fixing. It might have been. I don't know. The middle order is only good because of Aniket Verma and everyone else is out of form. The top order collapses and then the middle order has to play defensively, then builds pressure, tries to play a big shot, then gets out. A classic tale of T20 collapses. The difference in the Chennai match was that Patirana bowled easy deliveries for the batters to hit, even if they weren't set. This just gave them a lot of runs. The lower order is pretty solid. Pat Cummins is the main player doing well here, and is able to get quick runs cheaply, honestly. Death overs batting for this team is better than their middle and their power play. because they're able to score above 130 here. And their bowling is crap. Do not let that CSK game fool you. Their bowling is crap. It's just crap against even more crap. The SRH bowlers are just a little less crap than the CSK batters. I feel like this is the best you can do. Keep bowling like a good enough length. Get that variation. Especially Mr. Purple Patel. God damn, those slow bars really worked against Chennai. The spinners aren't great. Z-Shot is pretty good. I feel like he has a good future in this format if they keep molding him into like that kind of Chahal kind of leg spinner. Oh, so that the keeper can like easily stop him. You know, like that smart. You know. So essentially, the middle overs isn't great. The power play is alright, and the death overs is crap. So this team is D tier anyway. They will struggle because of previous losses, but the away win against Chennai will definitely give them a confidence boost. They're probably only going to win against KKR of the next 3, if that. They're probably losing the next 3, for being honest. KKR. Considering that they didn't bat against Punjab, I'm going to go off the GT match. This total was chaseable, but again, it's the case of a classic T20 collapse. Target is too high, openers fall cheaply, middle order plays defensively, looks for the big shot, gets out, causes a good collapse. Rahane kind of tried. I mean, I wouldn't say that he actually tried, if I'm being honest. We've seen him play way better than power play, and he actually utilized it well, not just in this season, but like 2023 as well. This time he didn't utilize it well, and he and Venki ultimately made this match worse for KKR. I don't know if this is an improvement from previous matches where they just try to go for glory and hit the ball everywhere, and then they got out. They're both bad in my opinion. I think bringing in Ankrish before losing 7 wickets would have been a better idea. You know, that seems like a very stupid idea to me. Probably could have saved them from losing a lot of net run rate points in this game. Let's create a completely new playing 11 for KKR though. Moeen Ali will open the batting. Could likely use the power play better than Sunil Narayan, seen as he isn't just a blind slugger. Ramanullah Gurbaz, he's a good T20 anchor. We know how good he is. Ajinkya Rahane, he's the captain. Raghuvanshi, a fantastic young player, can anchor when needed and can smash when needed. Venkatesh Iyer, 23.75 crores. That's the only reason why he's even in this team. Rinku Singh, Andre Russell, Ramandeep Singh, Sunil Narayan, Vaibhav Arora, and Harshit Rana. And Varun Chakravarti as your impact player. And also, please change the mentality of this team. Bowling is the better part, but it's still pretty lackluster. They struggle to take wickets in the power play if they aren't up against a terrible batting lineup. Honestly, if they took like just 1 wicket in the Punjab or Gujarat games, like even if it was 5 overs down, they probably could have stopped so many runs. Or just 1 over that disrupted the batters. They could have had that, and that would have disrupted so many runs as well. The middle overs bowling does do their job most of the time. They go with a good economy, make up for the terrible power play, and they could restrict the batters quite a bit. If Narayan could take 2 extra wickets, Narayan or Varun, if they could take 2 extra wickets, they could have a much better game. But the problem is that this is the best you can do with the pace attack. I think they have to bowl more back of a length deliveries, and bowling nowadays in T20s is just wide Yorkers. Anyway, that's it for them. Next game's against DC, RR, and CSK. No way they're winning the Delhi game. Rajasthan and CSK could be a lot lighter, but still tough competition. I think C tier. They're the most mid team on this list. I don't know what to say about Punjab. They played 1 game this week and it was washed out. I'll talk about their batting mainly. If their bowling is just the same as last week, obviously. So go watch that. I'm lazy, I'm sorry. Priyach and Prabh amazing power play. Shreyas is also solid, but he was not necessary against KKR. The middle overs are kind of terrible. Shreyas is the only guy who can actually make runs in the middle, and the other guys just waste deliveries. If they could take on the bowlers smarter and maybe work in the nets against spin, they could qualify for the playoffs easier instead of having to have a tough battle against Mumbai and stuff. The death overs batting isn't great though, but it's still not as bad as the middle overs batting. If Iyer can stay in long enough, he can absolutely destroy at the net, but that always can't happen. Shashank is kind of out of form with the bat right now, so you can't always rely on him. Stoinis is out of form as well, and Wadira can't stay in long enough for the death. Jensen is the main batter at the death, and surely he can hit a couple of sixes, but it isn't great at picking up the ball. He's mainly a bowling all-rounder as well. So all of these guys I just talked about, though, they can each hit like a couple of boundaries and then get out, which adds up to like 30 to 40 extra runs, which, if you're scoring like 160 in the first 16, to 30 to 40 runs is 200 runs. That's pretty good. Even if they're scoring like 20, it's pretty good. B tier. I think B tier. I feel like I didn't write that on the script. Okay. Mumbai is solid. Third place. Really good all round. I think they're S tier. Okay, easily S tier. Their power play batting is excellent. Maybe not what they thought it would be after the auction, but it's still pretty good. Rohit can hit a couple of sixes in the power play. Rickleton can play his fair share, and then you get to Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya is having a fantastic season, by the way. Lots of boundaries and heaps of runs. They're scoring amazingly in the power play, and the middle is just as good because they have Surya Kumar Yadav. At least one of their openers is staying in usually, and no matter who it is, they're scoring a solid amount of runs, like Rohit's 270 or Rickleton's like 40s, 50s. It's just exceptional. Surya also scores really, really quickly in the middle. He's scoring 400 plus runs this season, striking at 170. Excellent stuff. The runs do kind of stop here though. If Tilak nor Jax get going quick enough, there's a mini collapse that someone has to mitigate, and it's not Hardik. And it's not amazing to see. Their middle overs batting ends up being average, is what I'm saying. The death overs batting is slightly above average. Against Lucknow, they were able to score a lot of runs then. But against other teams this season, almost everyone has struggled, barring Namandir. Namandir is actually looking like a really good backup for Hardik as well. Honestly, it's Hardik. If Hardik ever finds form, it's over for every other team. Their power play bowling is stellar. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. They didn't find form for the first few games, but have definitely built themselves up pretty well. Bolt is carrying the power play and the middle. Bumrah at least gets at least one over in. I mean, it's just with Bumrah. Where can you go wrong? And Chahar is expensive, but he can strike early. The middle is solid as well. Karan Sharma did great against Delhi, though he is expensive. He can make the batter struggle if they don't take him seriously enough. Santa is good too, not particularly good at taking wickets, but his job is to build pressure so that Card can take wickets, and he's done that pretty well. Jax has essentially turned from a batter into a frontline spin bowler. He's able to take wickets. He does go kind of expensive, but not too bad. The pace attack has Bumrah. I don't think we need to talk about that very much. And the death overs is kind of lackluster, except for Bumrah and Santner. But Corbin Bosch did well today, and I expect him to play maybe a couple of more games, especially because he's fairly handy in the field. But you can't really go wrong in the death if you have Bumrah, so they're obviously S tier. I mean, dude, they have Jasprit Bumrah. What kind of team that has Jasprit Bumrah is not S tier? I mean, I guess a terrible team, but anyway. Lucknow. Lucknow is alright. They only lost to Mumbai because their usual strengths couldn't get through anything. I consider their power play batting pretty good though. They're definitely above average, and usually if any of them fail, the other one does come in and step up and plays well. Puran at 3 goes crazy if both of them fall, but that didn't happen today, or hasn't happened for like the past few matches. Marsh did it today, but he could not finish properly. Puran was really good at the start of the season, kind of messed his season up after the Gujarat match, but I think he's still going to have a solid season. This really brought down Lucknow's power play batting and middle overs batting because Puran's not playing anymore. They didn't score nearly as many runs as they used to, and they have to get really, really lucky to get a score above 170. I mean, still better than Chennai, though. The death overs batting never helps either. Their middle order is absolutely terrible, except for Badoni, and no lower order runs are scored except for an occasional good innings from Samad. If the death overs can even add 20 runs, they could probably get it to a total of like 180 maybe. It's at this time that you have to accept that Miller is in terrible form and he just isn't working. So you could bring in someone like Shabazz who can play a pretty good innings at the death. And also you have some extra depth in the bowling. Speaking of the bowling, the power play bowling is pretty good. They aren't that spectacular. The power play bowlers aren't exactly power play specialists, so it's about to be somewhat lackluster. The middle overs bowling is pretty solid. They could take wickets, but do go for a little too much. But they do work well together, as Rati complements both Bishnoi and Vish. Oh, and please bring Thakur back in. Prince Yadav is a great player, sure. I think he's gonna have a solid future. But I think Thakur complements Mayank more. Digvesh is an all-phase bowler, and it sucks that LSG can't utilize him a lot more. And also, please Digvesh, play first-class cricket. Please. He looks like a really, really good red ball spinner. I think Digvesh is solid enough, and if Thakur comes in, Mayank can hold his length together a lot more, because he doesn't have to take a lot of wickets. And that's it for LSG. Honestly, I can't decide between B tier and C tier, and I don't really like this team, so I'm going to put C tier. RCB is S tier. Wow. I can't find any. Do I use this for the clickbait thumbnail? Maybe I should. I'm probably going to put a bunch of faces in there, though. A bunch of red arrows, guys. Am I right? Okay, I can't find any holes in this team, other than the fact that they are kind of unstable. If Bhuvi and Hoff don't do well in the power play, they do kind of lose. I think Dayal has actually stood up, though. So even if Dayal has a good day and Bhuvi and Hoff don't, I think there's a huge chance that RCB still win. The middle order isn't great. I think that Bethel can bat there instead of Livingston. I think Romario is pretty good too, but I prefer Bethel. If the power play doesn't go great, usually the team doesn't do great either. Luckily this time, Kohli could stay in and play a 108 strike rate knock. But, you know, I think it was vital because Krunal really needed that. I think the bowlers did an excellent job today as well. If they didn't restrict them to 160, there's no chance in hell that they were winning this match. Even if it was like 170-ish, there was no chance in hell. Krunal batted aggressively too. I think that was extremely important to today's win. I don't know if they have enough firepower to go all the way to the trophy though. They might, you know. I'm probably going to be completely wrong. If the team ends up getting tired and then not working, or some injury kind of happens, it could seriously ruin the entire team composition. That's what I mean when the team is kind of unstable. If they've gained confidence at home though, and the next 2 out of their 3 games are at home, both against easy teams. Lucknow is probably going to be pretty light. Easy top 2 for RCB. And Delhi. Delhi's problems have been exposed. They are still A tier, obviously. KL has gone back to his regular self and just started defending the entire time instead of actually trying to play T20 cricket. If he could just, play how he did for the first half of this season, DC could have easily hit at least 180. But I'm going to be honest, RCB did an extremely good job today. They were able to build pressure on the top order by bowling on an extremely good line and an extremely good length that the batters just couldn't figure out. It almost looked like test match cricket out there, especially the way Delhi were batting. Porel did really good, though. I expect him to be a future star. Also, if he could just convert his starts into a big score instead of trying to go for the big shot on these deliveries that are very clearly just traps, it would be really, really great for me, because I love Abhishek Porel, and for the team. The batters should recognize that they can't play some lines and should focus on those lines in the nets. The bowling doesn't have enough overs. At this point, Aksar is bowling 3 overs in the power play, and he's been doing amazingly. I'm not gonna lie. I think Aksar is having an amazing day in the power play. But that lets the batters score really easily in the middle overs, as everyone is attackable except for Guldeep. So even if DC reduces a team for like 26 for 3 in today's game, the opposition can score without difficulty by targeting everyone except Guldeep, just by defending the ball at the start. Maybe like Stark will get like a 6-run over in, and then Guldeep will get like a 5-run over in, and then they can have another 8-run over with Mukesh Kumar, then have a 10-run over with Mitchell Stark, then Guldeep will give them another 6-run over, which, that was kind of an example of today's game. I mean, was that? I didn't watch the entire thing. I had a class, but that's kind of what I'm trying to say. This also leads into the death not being a great time for them. My opinion, I think they should bring in Nattu. I always say that having a pace bowler who can't bowl in the power play is kind of terrible, but Natu is bowling really, really well at the death and in the middle overs, and it kind of really fits well because Oxer is bowling in the power play. So I think they should bring him Natu. He's great at the death in the middle, as I said. That's literally his specialty. I think Chamira would rather bowl in the power play rather than bowl in the middle. This also gives you someone who's really, really, really accurate with his wide Yorkers, and someone who's experienced in T20 bowling to lead the pace attack, instead of someone like Stark or Bukesh, who hasn't played a lot of T20 cricket, and they also go for heaps of runs. I mean, Natu goes for runs too, but they go for more runs than Natu. Or go with the same playing 12 and bowl Chamira in the power play, then let Oxer bowl in the middle. I don't know how great that will work though. So that's it. I think this is your tier list. I think it's a pretty fair one. Gujarat in S, Mumbai in S2, RCB in S2. A for DC because their holes have been exposed in just today's game. Punjab Kings get B tier. I think they're at like a 50-50 chance for qualifying. If Delhi bottle this season, I think Punjab's going to be qualifying. KKR and LSG, both the mid teams this season. I mean, I think LSG's in C tier because I hate them, but KKR is there too. Sunrisers in D, pretty obvious. And then F tier is the teams that are eliminated and should focus on next season. I don't know what. I mean, obviously we can both the Rajasthan and CSK can still qualify, but do we really want to focus on qualifying right now? We have to have like so many things go well for us. There's no way we're going to be focusing on qualifying. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.